Hey guys, I'm coming back to you with some great news because as you might have heard already, yesterday Notion introduced the public beta version of their API, and what this means and how this will affect you as a Notion user is what we'll cover in this video. So if you are a long-time Notion user, then you know that the API has been something that has been expected and that people were looking forward to for years pretty much. And now the time has finally come and the public beta version has been released. Now this is a beta version, so that means it's not the final API. There are still lots of things missing and also some errors and things that are not working correctly, but it's something to start with, and there's already great functionality that you can have and things that you can do with this. So here we have the announcement article from Notion, and you see that the Notion API is now in public beta. This is huge because first of all, this will allow lots of developers to actually build integrations with Notion, which will probably be things that you can use later on. So this is not too interesting for people that don't know how to code, but there are other things that you can use, such as the Zapier integration. So if you know how Zapier works, it's pretty much like a tool to connect other different tools together. And Notion now offers a native Zapier integration, which means that you can use Zapier to build automations using Notion and other software. For example, you can build a calendar syncing tool with Notion and your Google Calendar, which is something that I will be publishing a video about soon, so you can check it out. I will link it in the video card at the top. And also the third thing is that there's now a native Typeform integration. Now this is also huge because Typeform, if you know it, is a tool to collect form entries from your customers or from people you know. So you can have forms and surveys, and Typeform helps you create those. And now with this integration, you can actually directly get all this information into your Notion databases. Again, this is also something that I will be creating a separate video on. So if that's interesting to you, you can again check this out in the video card. The video will not be out until I think in 1 or 2 days. So if you're watching this on the day the video comes out, it will not be there yet, but you'll see it soon. And lastly, we have notion.so, which is a similar tool to Zapier. It's just used by a bit more enterprise customers, but in the end, it's pretty similar, and it allows you to create automations using Notion and other tools. Now, in order to use these new features, you will have to set up integrations with your Notion account. And let me show you how this is actually done. So you can go to Settings and Members, and then you can go to Integrations. And this is where you will see all the integrations that you have added to your Notion workspace. So in my case, you see I have these 3 integrations already. I added them all yesterday and tested what can be done using this tool. And you see I have Zapier, I also have Typeform, and I created another test integration. You can also develop your own integrations if you know how to code. If not, then that's not relevant for you. Then just wait until somebody has actually developed the thing that you are looking for, and then you can just use their solution. Because I think there's going to be lots and lots of new tools coming out and new developers creating tools on top of Notion with this update. So that's really exciting. Now, in order to create the integrations, you actually have to go to developers.notion.so, and there you can go to My Integrations. And on the My Integrations page, this is where you actually add the different integrations that you have. So you can just click on Create New Integration, then give it a name, a logo, say what workspace it's associated with, and then you will be able to kind of connect to that using the tool that you want to connect. So in my case, for example, Zapier, I've connected that as an internal integration, which is only available for me inside of my workspace and not for others. And then I get this internal integration token, which you obviously have to keep secret, which you can then plug into your Zapier account to connect the two together, and then you can create these basic automations. The way that the integrations work is that you kind of have to give them access to pages and databases, just like you have to give access to different people, or for example, guests that are outside of your organization. And this makes sure that the integrations don't have access to everything in your Notion workspace, but only to the aspects and databases that you actually want to use them for. And how you do this is just by adding a new guest to your database. So let's go on this learning database, go to Share. And if I click on this box to share people, emails, groups, and integrations, you now see I have these people right here. And also I can share this with an integration. So I can choose which integration will actually have access to that database in order to then, alter the page, add new database entries, retrieve information and things like this. As I said already, I will be covering all these features and how you can set this up in more detail in the coming videos when we're going to build a calendar synchronization and also going to explore the Typeform integration. Now, what does this actually mean for Notion? Well, I think that Notion will become much more popular once the API has actually been kind of tested and released and is stable, doesn't have many bugs anymore, and maybe has some additional features, because right now it's pretty limited. And especially the handmade integration, so the integration with Zapier, which is the one I tested out already, is still a bit clunky and doesn't have that much functionality. But once the API has become a bit more stable and some new features are added, then I think this will have huge implications on Notion, because Notion is, in my opinion, going to turn into a central organizational and informational hub for many organizations, be it small companies or freelancers like I am, or even bigger companies, because if you can plug in all the data from different sources through the API, you can really have one central hub that kind of has all the information and gives you a good overview over all the different parts of your business. For example, as I said, you can sync your calendars with Notion. You can then maybe sync your task management or project management tool with Notion. You can also get your sales CRMs data into Notion. And if then in the next step the Notion databases become a bit more powerful and a bit more advanced, you can do more advanced stuff with them, then I think that Notion is pretty much the one tool to rule them all, the one tool that really combines the power of all the different tools together, and will become really essential to many organizations, be it small or big. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope that you're as excited about the Notion API as I am, and I'll definitely be creating lots of content around that, because this is really a game changer and will change how people use Notion forever, I think. If you want to stay up to date with the things that I post, like the content I produce on Notion and stuff, then consider following me on Twitter. My handle is @JanoschWork, because Janosch Workspace didn't fit anymore. Or you can subscribe to my somewhat monthly newsletter. I don't send it out every month, but I try to, and in the newsletter we cover things like updates on the favorite productivity tools, new videos, new tutorials, and stuff that I've been producing, free templates, and lots of stuff like this. So if that sounds interesting to you, then check it out. It's at janoschworkspace.com/newsletter. And with that said, I'm done, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.